So sorry for that ridiculous back and forth, but I have been impatient with the screen flop. Whoa, hello. Thank you for the hearts. Hello, Sienna. Hi, Danny Sunny D2. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. So I have been doing personal development on and off. Yes, it's actually my brother's 18th birthday. That's so crazy. I feel like he's still just a little boy in my mind, but he's way taller than me. Anyway, I digress. I have been doing personal development on and off for about 4.5 years since I started as a Beachbody coach, and I absolutely love it. It was one thing that was totally different for me in my life before, or compared to before coaching, because I thought that self-help books were for people. Yes, Shanti is a boss for sure. I thought self-help was for people who were like crying alone in tubs of ice cream while watching romantic comedies after romantic comedies after romantic comedies on Friday nights. And I didn't consider myself that person, even though from time to time I have eaten ice cream alone and watched romantic comedies on Friday nights, and maybe during emotional parts I've cried. But anyway, I digress once again. So I thought that was what people did until I started as a Beachbody coach, and then I really learned that smart people do personal development, driven people do personal development, people who have big goals and become hugely successful are the people who do personal development. So I started reading and listening to podcasts every single day with personal development. Sorry, I am in a parking lot. So I started reading and doing personal development every day, and then while I was doing personal development, listening to a podcast. Yes, I love podcasts too. I actually, though, have a huge queue of podcasts that I need to listen to. But I was listening to a podcast by one of my favorite people, Chalene Johnson, and if you do not follow Chalene Johnson on every form of social media that you possibly can, you are probably making a mistake and missing out, so I strongly recommend that you do so. But one of her podcasts said that she thought that you should stop doing personal development and start implementing. So if you are just listening to things and just reading things, you should stop doing it and just listen to one thing or read one thing, do whatever that thing says to do, and then listen to another thing after you've done the thing. And that made perfect sense to me, and I agreed with that. And so I stopped doing personal development for a little while because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buckle down, I'm gonna do the things. Do all the things. But I ended up not really doing anything, and then I got kind of depressed because I wasn't doing anything. Not clinically depressed, but just my happiness quotient was like... And then I was like, all right, well, what's going on? I noticed things that in my businesses, I was making less money, and that sucks. I mean, I know they say mo money, mo problems, but I have not ever met someone who's like, oh, I'm so burdened by all this money. What am I going to do with all this cash? Give me a pint of ice cream and romantic comedies. No, the more money you have, the more great things that you can do, the more people that you can help. So more money, yes please. And if you have too much money and you don't know what to do with it, please send me a message and I can either A, recommend a charity for you, or B, recommend the charity of Mandy's getting married, and those things are apparently really expensive. So if you have more money than you know what to do with, I will help you with that. I do personal development, and I am actually working on a couple of ebooks, and that was one of the things that was slowing me down, was that I was like, all right, I'm not doing anything until I make my free part of my ebook so that I can get things. So this is where I'm going to say, stopping that. So lately I decided, you know what? I'm just going to start listening to these because I don't like notifications on my phone. Those little red circles stress me out. And so I'm going to start listening to these podcasts that I have. And I joined a book club through Meetup, and I've been doing those book club meetings. And so I have to read that book. Okay, you're getting blocked. I have to read that book or else I don't, get to really enjoy the discussion at the meetup. So I started reading again and started doing personal development again, just listening to it, not necessarily implementing everything. And let me just tell you that my mood lately has been so much better. I've been more productive, I have gotten more done, and I'm making more money. So I'm so much happier, and even though I'm not necessarily implementing the things, I'm doing great, thank you. I'm not implementing the things necessarily. I'm working on it. I'm getting, oh, you're gone. I'm working on implementing the things, and I keep getting consistent reminders of the things that I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that thing. But I'm not necessarily listening to this thing, do what the thing says, listen to the next thing. So what I'm remembering is when I had the chance to talk personally with one of the people from Beachbody Corporate. We talked about this personal development thing, and he said the same thing. You should pick personal development on a specific area that you want to improve and focus it on that. Any other personal development you do is really, oh my good Lord, what is with people? Did I hire someone to help write the ebook? No, I'm writing it myself. He said if I'm listening to other personal development, for example, the podcasts that I have queued up to listen to while I drive, that's my entertainment. So for me, instead of keeping up with the Kardashians or whatever, my entertainment is I'm going to listen to all these podcasts, and instead of reading romance novels or books for fun, which there's nothing wrong with that, and I started a book club in Milwaukee when I lived there and did that. Oui, je parle français, mais ce n'est pas parfait. But yeah, so that's my entertainment, and it helps me in other areas of my life. And occasionally I get ideas here and there, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that thing. That's gonna go at least onto my to-do list to eventually do. So I was for a while telling my team, slow down on the personal development, just listen to things or read them and then implement them, and then wait until you've implemented them to listen to anything else. But now I am retracting that statement and saying, be a personal development fiend and junkie and consume everything you can, because at the very least you are listening to extremely positive people giving you hope and giving you motivation and encouragement. And if you don't have those people in your life like I do, like with my team, like Sienna who's on my team, and we pump each other up, if you don't have people that you personally know that are doing that on a daily basis, let the people that are your personal development mentors be that for you. And then if they have ideas that you can implement, whether it's an ebook or a course or, you know, any sort of project or things that you want to do to build your dream, then do those things, of course. I'm not saying don't do the things. Do all the things that you can. Don't stress about it, but keep your personal development working for you however it can, even if it's just positive entertainment. So that is my stance on personal development. And I saw the question about my favorite Beachbody program. It is a tie, I think, between P90X3 and the Masters Hammer and Chisel. And although I don't love doing 21 Day Fix Extreme, I definitely had the best results from that. So I'm going to revisit that after what I'm doing right now, which is 22-minute hardcore. So tonight, after my next 5 hours of stuff that I have to do, I'm going to write a blog with some of my favorite personal development things to share with you. So if you are interested, please go to the link in my profile, and at the end of every blog there's a note to subscribe. Thank you. At least you weren't rude about it and didn't say something crude. I don't mind a little F-bomb, but yeah, I need to develop like now too. So make sure you subscribe to my Periscope, because after I write this blog that I'm talking about, I'll do another scope and say hi and be like, hey, by the by, check out my big list of favorite podcasts and books and all of that. And then secondly, I'm going to give some opportunities on how to develop as well. So yes, I know Sienna is one of my subscribers. Thank you. And then yeah, please, if you don't already follow me on Periscope, thank you for the hearts. Please follow me here too, because I try every other day to share something of value. So it's either something personal development related, since I'm especially back to doing that, or I'm in fitness and nutrition, as I mentioned with Beachbody. I'm also a model. You can still see my post from yesterday, from my photo shoot yesterday. And I am a makeup artist. So I say I change lives and play dress up, and those are the types of things that I share on my Periscope. And then I also like to do scopes where I just come on and say, hello, how are you doing? Because one of my favorite things about this over YouTube is that we can interact right now, face-to-face-ish. Well, my face, but I can read your comments and we can kind of chat right away. I think it's really cool. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing day. Remember, get those hearts. I've done combat, which is similar, and I did some kickboxing classes a long time ago, but that was like in high school at the YMCA back in the day. All right. thank you so much. Have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon.